Y'all know what time it is. Yo, what's up, my tokers, jokers, and smokers? It's your boy, Chef Rodney 117 here with another edition of Deliciously Dope's Daily Chronicles. Today, fam, today is a goddamn good day. Okay, if you're not happy, you should be. Make sure you go out and spread some positivity, some smiles, and stuff like that. But today on the show, we go back, years, y'all, years. But we're going to take a journey to a little place called Sunnyvale, y'all. All right? That's in Nova Scotia, for those that ain't know. That's in Canada. Canada. I'm joking, y'all. We're going to sit down with someone who's seen it firsthand. We're talking about Trailer Park Boys, y'all. Someone who's seen it from day one. All right, we're going to find out why he uses cannabis, what it was like to work with legendary actors that got the opportunity in this one lifetime to grace us with their presence, who really lifted their name from, being the, sitcom dads and Shakespearean actors, if you will. We're going to learn what it was like to be able to share this, this experience with them and find out who Mr. Jacob Rolfe is, aka Jacob Collins. So without any other further ado, and I promise you he doesn't look like Julian. I'm the one that stole the black shirt today, y'all. I give you Mr. Jacob Rolfe. Jacob, how you doing this morning, man?
Yo, what's up, Chef Rodney?
How you doing, man? Whew, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. We caught you mid joint there, did we?
Yeah, just hooping on this tasty roach and realizing how high as I have.
Yeah. I mean, listen. No time like the present, sir. No time like the present, as you should know. I mean, dude, take me back real quick, if you will. Like take me back. What was it like getting the call?
I'll say
Trailer Park Boys,
Man, oh man. It's always a trip. Getting the call. Like, it's happened a few times over the years, I guess originally back in the day before the first season, and then after the hiatus when the show was off air for 5 years there or whatever it was, getting the call that it was happening again was a very good call to get. Fucking exciting.
Oh, absolutely. I've talked to some other people, and it's similar to the chef life, a little bit, because it's like, we know these, you hear about these pop-up restaurants that become a brick and mortar, that become, this institution of cooking because of whatever, right? The same thing is to be said with acting and comedy. You hear about this person that's doing big things, or these people, or these names. And when all of that stuff adds up, magic like that happens, I can only imagine, man, what it was like to kind of. Did you guys expect it would be, such the success that it was, or were you just like, hey, this is going to be
Man, I don't think anybody could have predicted if anything, after seeing the first season, like, I mean, I was sort of plucked out of nowhere, you know, and was in the first season. And then when I actually saw it on TV, you know, I was excited. Oh boy, here's the show that I'm on,
Right.
and watched it, and it was just like, what the fuck is this? This is like rough and crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to go nowhere. Just like the whole handheld style was new at the time, and just looked so. It was so. I think I was used to polished, you know, sort of professional
Right.
studio style.
Not a mockumentary.
And yeah, certainly. And so I was just like, oh my god, that's fucked. Like, it's about getting drunk and high, which is funny.
I do that. Exactly. You're like, I do that.
Yeah, it wasn't much of a stretch, really.
Right.
But yeah, I was surprised when the second season happened, you know, and I was surprised I got a call for that, and then it just kept on happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess to relate back to your question, it's always great and always a surprise to get the call, or was for the first bunch of years.
Right.
Now I never know if there's going to be a new season, but it's always good to hear when there is going to be one. And I'm happy to get the call still.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you who don't know, Mr. Jacob Rolfe here works for a company called SwearNet. SwearNet is hands down, it's one of those things where, like, when I can afford it, I subscribe to it. COVID, you know, I missed it. I can't afford it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But SwearNet, for those of you who can't afford it, swearnet.com, go check out all the content. There's the jail, you know, the stuff from the jail that just came out, you know, they're filming with the boys and stuff. Definitely go check that out. There's a lot of like podcasts that are it's all one spot, dude. Swearnet.com, go check it out. You know what I'm saying? Definitely worth it. I'll be honest, like, I probably should, you know, make some wiggle room and definitely pick that up, and I most likely will, but dude, like, it's insane to me as a fan, you know, being able to like share that experience with you. Like, dude, I'm holding, and it's green, you know, green screen, but like my Trailer Park Boys bowl, you know, like that's my point. It's absolutely green. I'll send you a picture of it, you know, after the show. But since it's green, it, you know,
your square is so small on my phone here, I can't.
Yeah. It's fine. I'll send you a picture of it, but it's just got the boys on it, you know, Ricky, Bubbles, Julian, and then it says TPB on, you know, the other side. That's my point. If there's products like this locally for me, that's how big this phenomenon is, you know, and that's what it is, man. Like, I really, do you think it changed the outcome of your life where you sit now, or do you think it was just something that was just like, yo, well, I would have done this regardless?
I mean, it's definitely, there's no way it hasn't impacted, you know, the trajectory of my life. Okay. Although I'm, like, I don't know how different I'd be living necessarily if it hadn't happened.
Right. Fair enough.
I mean, I probably there's a good chance I'd, you know, be having to work some kind of regular job, like I have for you know, for many years in my life, in kitchens like yourself. Although it's been, you know, quite a few years at this point. But I mean,
if you, as long as, you know, the way we look at it, man, if you put a year in, it's 365 days in the kitchen, you're part of the fam. You know what it's like. That's it.
Yeah, that's a deep question, an interesting one, kind of factual there. Like, I live a pretty modest lifestyle, you know, doing art, which I would have been doing probably as well. But, you know, art might have been more of a, you know, secondary thing to having to work like a regular job for money. Whereas Trail Boys has allowed me, like, the income really varies from year to year, but it's allowed me to, like, you know, be able to focus on art and, you know, not have to work a regular sort of 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Well, I'm used to living on pretty low income, so that's part of the secret.
Because that kitchen life, that's my point. That kitchen life, no matter where you're at, it's not to be rich. That's not why we do it. You know, so you get used to having a budget, and it don't really, you're stuck with it, you know. And then when you have added stuff, you're like, that's it. You know what I mean? So yeah, dude, absolutely, 100%. I think that's kind of like just the magic of putting positivity out there in the life to receive it. You know what I'm saying? And I know, you know, you're a dude all about that, like, just being positive all you want. And dude, what more positive thing can you do? Like, create art. and seriously, y'all, check out Jacob's Print Club at BAAM.ca. That's BAM.ca. I've got some here. If you don't mind, I want to kind of plug this, man. I want to show this, bro. Like, I got a What Up Chef Rodney. Of course, it's fucking green. Autographed picture of the man himself here. So get you. I mean, look at. I gotta frame this. Homeboy sent me some stickers. Like, this shit's legit, y'all. Definitely check it out. BAAM.ca, BAM.ca. Homie, this is going in my grow.
I just got a new sticker. You see
That's
that?
so sweet.
Oh man,
Is that a Goldie? Orangey, that's what it was. Yeah, orangey.
Yeah.
But check this out, dude. So I didn't really know, and it's funny you should show that picture of Ricky in the background there, because I have that, and this is the special frame that I went and picked up for it.
Oh, is that from like part of your antiquing?
Yeah, I went antiquing, man, picked that up. Like, I like to repurpose frames because I'm fucking a hipster like that. But I think they're going to look really good, dude, in the studio once we redo it. They're going to look great, man. I appreciate it. The autograph at the bottom.
You're fucking good, man.
They're so sweet, y'all. So definitely go check out his shit at BAAM.ca. That's BAM.ca. Yo, it's this shit's crazy. It's very, it makes you think, and it puts you at ease when you look at it, and you're like, it's just like kind of reminds you of a timeline in that era, in that Trailer Park Boys era. I love it, dude.
Let's do it. Like, I mean, I've got both Trailer Park Boys and non-Trailer Park Boys themed art.
Yep.
And
yep.
Yeah, it's nice when art can take you out of your head for a few seconds or for a minute or whatever or longer, and that's one of the goals, I would say.
Right.
Although as I hear myself saying that, I realize it's still hitting me, I think.
Right. So we got a question from one of our new viewers. He's kind of tuned into everything that we've done lately and can't appreciate y'all enough. But Mr. Jake asks, he has a question. The question that I would like to ask is, how is it hanging with Snoop on the show? That had to be awesome.
That was definitely some very exciting times, I tell you. I don't know if you've seen that season, but our characters don't really overlap, except for one scene when we're in Julian's bar, and Snoop pretty much like laughs and makes fun of me and Corey. And it was awesome. I couldn't ask for more.
Hell yeah, I could get that. It
was cool. Like there was a real sense of being in the presence of a famous person.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I mean that's
he exuded that vibe.
You're like
It was nothing. He had a giant crew with him. It was really a presence for sure.
Oh, dude, that's like there's some people that say that they've met Snoop, and then there's some people like, nah, dude, I met Snoop. Like, there's different spectrums. You hear these murmurs, and like this man becomes this mystery, but at the same time, is like he's just a dude doing a thing, and like. At the end of the day, he's one of the most, and from what I'm understanding and what I see and what I hear and what I know, he's always just been humble as shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't have a
super laid back, chill, super humble.
I mean, it's that's what it's like. My question is like, I would like to, if I had one question for Snoop Dogg, and maybe pass it along to him. You feel me? Like, I want to know what really went down with like Snoop Dogg to Snoop Lion back to Snoop Dogg. Like, I feel
I remember hearing that happen, but like I've never been like much of a Snoop Dogg fan that I followed his stuff that closely. So I never knew. I don't know the details about that at all.
Yeah, but it's just a good question for him. I started. Right. I started following him on Gin and Juice, and that's kind of like you grew up in kitchens and it's blasting, and you're like, all right, you know what I'm saying? That's just it. That's
he was more in the background for me as well. So I sort of learned who he was, and like, okay, that's Snoop, and I know his like sort of greatest hits.
Oh, for sure, dude. There's one more thing that I want to ask about, if you don't mind, and then I kind of want to roll into, if you haven't seen, On the show, we do these W's. We do, first time W's, favorite W's, crazy W's, and planned W's. It goes like this. First time W's, like, kind of like the first time who, what, when, where, and why. Favorite stuff, crazy, like, there's that one time when you just got way too high. You're like, okay, I need a tolerance break. And then, future W's, like what if, so that's kind of the thing we want to do, or what we can expect from you. But before we get to all of that, I do want to talk about the late, great John Dunsworth, man. Like, that guy, I cried when that man died. That guy was such a, there's a part in Trailer Park Boys where I think it was Donnie or somebody like that, or the new long-haired Donna or whatever. Donna Lee. Yeah. He says you have such a ferocity in your eyes, or they're very fierce. He wasn't wrong. He wasn't wrong. And I was like, just the scale of how much tea that man drank. You understand? Holy shit.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that when he's looking at you, he was really, he had his full attention, and he was looking at you, whether it was in a scene or, behind the scenes, like a real down-to-earth dude.
Hell yeah. There's one thing that he really taught me, dude, personally, and that was gratitude, and that was his message, man. And then anytime I saw, because being a fan, you see it in front of the camera, you see it on Netflix when it drops, blah, 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 blah. And then, you see it obviously different from that. You have all these interviews and this and press release, and you can't say this and can't say that while you're filming this. You're busy as shit, dude. You know what I'm saying? Then, on top of that, you got all this art going on. Holy shit, bro. I could only imagine. But at the same time, there's a presence, and you have this as well, man, of appreciation and gratitude for where you're at in life, man. And it's a very positive vibe that y'all give out, and that's why we're kind of talking about him a little bit. And then honestly, if we can dedicate episodes, I'm not sure if that's fine or not, but let's dedicate this episode kind of to him, you know what I'm saying? Do it with his energy, his vibe. You feel me?
Sure, man. Sounds good.
Is that cool? All right, brother. I appreciate it, man. Seriously, that's the one thing I could give back for all those years of enjoyment, man. Plus, he made me sober. No bullshit. I'm not gonna lie to you. One day I was like, why should I do it? And I just turned on having anxiety, Trailer Park Boys, because I knew the episodes and it calmed my anxiety. And I saw Jim Leahy and it clicked in my head. Don't do that. You know what I mean?
He's definitely a good example of taking it too far.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about what led us to this point here in our cannabis life, man. If you're ready, I'm ready to start, man. First time W's, who, what, when, where, and why. You ready?
All right, man.
Let's kill it, brother. Let's kill it. All right. Yeah, I got a joint right over here.
How high are you at 1 to 10 right now? I'm smoking some of the pear package you sent me.
Shit.
I can't even say it. The care package. Some of this OG Kush. It's really good. That's what I just smoked the joint of, and it's my vision is blurry.
You'll be all right, man. You just gotta ride that wave a little bit.
I'm riding it.
I appreciate those care packages, man. You know what I'm saying? I got a little bit of this here Moby Dick from Canada. I'll tell you, this shit's no joke. I was showing you this earlier. Very piney, very into it. I got me, a good lung full of the shit before the show, during the show, after the show. This right here is it's a blue dream that I got up in Grayland, Michigan, Riverside Provisions. Shout out Doug, my boys up there, Todd.
Is that a sativa or indica?
It's a pretty, the terpenes are different, so it really doesn't matter sativa or indica. It's all about the terpene profile, and this terpene profile will put me right where I want to go, and I know that, and it's just kind of like a chill vibe. Mixing the two is kind of like an earthy, piney, terpene heaven smoke,
So a quick aside, if we may. So the terpenes, they affect flavor, but they also have a large effect on the type of high that you experience?
100%. So check this out. Are you familiar with the body's endocannabinoid system?
I've heard there is one.
Oh, there's so much I could teach you, sir. Check it out.
It involves receptors. Yeah, I don't know much about it.
So you know about the neurological system, right? With like a synapse and like the acetylcholine and neurons and stuff.
Yes, I think so.
That is the endocannabinoid system. That's what it is.
Okay, yeah, maybe the second part of what you said there, the like Curelon, I'm not sure about that, but yeah, there's like synapses and nerve type thingamajiggies that go throughout the body.
Yes. So
is nerve the right word?
So we have an endocannabinoid body in our system, okay? And so what happens is there's a certain terpenes. Terpenes are what allow for the cannabinoids to be processed or like absorbed into our body, whether it's smell, taste, you see what I'm saying, or ingestion, meaning eating it. You know what I mean? For example, have you ever had two different types of weed next to you and go, this one smells like that, this one smells like that, but I like this one more?
Yeah.
Now, dogs also have an ECS, which endocannabinoid system, because they're mammals. All mammals have it that we know of now. We're not sure about reptiles or birds yet. We would assume so, but we're not sure. All mammals have it. Dogs have it too. That's why when they get sick to their stomach, they eat a specific type of grass, allowing those terpenes, knowing that those terpenes will cause them to puke and vomit or settle their stomach. They know this.
Does all smelling of all things have to do with terpenes, or is it just some stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Not to get us off track.
No, you're good. So check this out. As far as terpenes go, you eat basil, right? You love basil, sweet basil, love it, right? All right. There's a terpene called estradiol in that if you're taking it too many, it's pretty toxic. You can get sick from eating too much basil. However, if you heat it up to a certain temperature, ergo cook with it or chop with it or add an acid to it, you see what I'm saying? Or if you eat it in low doses like a caprese. I don't know why I did the head bob, but it made me look cool. Anyways, then what happens is the terpenes burn off, or the acid burns this, or whatever have you. That's why certain foods affect us differently, especially if you put weed in them.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I've been hearing talk of terpenes, obviously, like for years now, but I've never. I guess I've been meaning to, but never bothered to like look more into it. But yeah, like when cooking with weed or processing it in different ways, that might burn off certain terpenes. I guess I've seen it discussed in that.
Yeah. So you've heard that mangoes, if you eat a mango and smoke weed, you'll get higher, right? That's true. Because mangoes have a high level of myrcene in them.
Dang.
If you want, if you read a lot of research and stuff, I have a ton of information I can send you. Like it's good.
I find this stuff interesting for sure. Mm-hmm. And if there's anything I can weed to make me higher, then that's definitely good to know.
Okay, so I'll leave you with one more, and then we'll jump into how you started smoking weed. One more little tip. I was just brought privy to this by my man Rick Thompson here in Michigan. He said, yeah, okay, smoking a joint is one thing, right? But there's a lot of terpenes that you're burning off with your lighter as you ignite it. Before that you're missing out on. He goes, and they come raw from the plant. He goes, literally just take that and juice it. Juice the plant, drink that, wait about 5 minutes and smoke a joint. All of those terpenes and cannabinoids, the entire full spectrum from cold to hot, you will get.
So you're all working together.
In tandem. It's no longer called the entourage effect, if you've heard that. It's called the ensemble effect, like an orchestra.
Interesting. Hey,
yeah, no, it's...
Can I go and rock a piss real quick before we...
dude, rock a piss, Bubba.
Right. Back in 30.
Rock a piss. He sings as he pees. I love it. Oh, man. I wonder how many times, and I'm going to ask him this when he comes back, how many times did they film him pissing? That would have just been weird. Been like, why are you filming me pissing for?
All right, I'm coming back here. Close my door. Man, I just opened up this. I had my upstairs all sort of blocked off for the winter because I wasn't.
Oh, word. Yep.
And now it's getting warmer. I've started to open things up, and so yeah, I just opened up this room again.
Hell yeah, man! I dig it. I vibe it.
It's chilly though. I got a space heater here, and I just closed the door so it'll warm up a little.
Get it. I'm not too far from you. I'm in Michigan, so it's coming. You know, last week or so, like it was 60 degrees, t-shirt weather. So
we've had some days here where it's been warm, and then it's just starting to get. It's a bit less warm today, but it's still warmer than it was like a week and a half ago. So no complaints. Like last night was above freezing for the first time.
That's good.
Moving in the right direction for sure.
I'm getting to the season where I'll start to glow. I'll take my shirt off and go outside, and I'm a ginger, aka Auburn American, and we glow when the sun's out.
I'm so cool as well, and
fair skin.
I normally travel in the winter, like somewhere that's cheap, warm, and sunny, and so I get a bit of like sun that way. But this year I'm as pale as anybody.
All right, well, let's get down to it, my man. If you're ready, you ready?
I'm ready. I'm just going to passively twist up another little joint here.
Oh, by all means, man. I'm passively smoking through that first one I was talking to you about. All right, man. Jacob. First time W's. Who, what, when, where, and why? Who was the first person you smoked weed with?
God, that would have been. I was in high school. That was with my buddy Mike Olson.
Okay. There you go.
A good friend from high school. We actually traveled in India together, like right after high school, where we also smoked a lot of hash. But before that happened, we smoked weed together in Ottawa.
Hell yeah, man. Who, what, when, where, and why? What was the first thing you guys smoked? A bong, joint, dab, spliff, pop can?
Oh God, it was joints that we rolled, but it was our first joints, and so they were like, we didn't know what the fuck we were doing. We weren't even sitting together. We bought a couple grams of weed,
right,
and we were smoking it in this field, and we were sitting maybe like 5 meters apart, each with our stash of weed, and we were just rolling joints and just smoking them like in a row, because we had no idea. It worked.
So that's what we're doing now. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Oh, hell yeah. Who, what, when, where, and why? When was your first time smoking a left-handed cigarette? Was that the first time?
A left-handed cigarette? What does that mean?
A joint? Yeah.
Yeah, that was the time.
You've never heard that? You've never heard left-handed cigarette?
No.
Huh.
No,
all right. Maybe that's just a...
All my cigarettes are left-handed, or were real ones and wink ones. Okay. But yeah, no, I've heard that term before.
All right, well, that's something that us people in the States say. It's like, yo, hey man, you want to go burn a left-handed cigarette? And that's just like a restaurant thing where you're like, yeah, I'll smoke a joint with you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
in the restaurant where I first. Like the weed I got was through a guy at the restaurant where I worked. But we used to say, I want to go park a heart.
There you go. Okay.
No one knew what you were talking about. Well, that was the idea, although maybe it's right. Obvious.
Right. We eventually just started calling them safety meetings.
Park a hearth. Yes.
That's... It's like, hey, fucking safety meeting is 5 minutes. Chef said it's set be outside. And everybody's just standing there and like...
Don't be legit.
Mm-hmm. And that's where you like, if there was a safety meeting, something important was going on. You know what I mean? So.
Well, yeah, totally necessary.
100%.
Meeting.
Speaking of totally necessary, who, what, when, where, and why? Where were you when you first kind of smoked the electric lettuce? Like, where were you guys doing?
So we were. It was just before going to see this concert. This band called All. at Carleton University. So we were like in this field outside the music venue near these locks along the Hugo Canal.
Hell yeah. Dude, that sounds like a fucking good place to like burn off the first ever. You feel me?
It was nice. The sun was still up. It was, summer evening. It was great. While we like chain smoked 3 joints each before going to watch this.
Oh, straight to the dome. Just driving those nails in. Oh man, I love it. First time W's, Jake. Who, what, when, where, and why? Why, to tie this up in a neat little bow, did you do it?
Why? Like, why did it get into? Why was I interested in weed? Good question. I don't know. Or
I've heard people say like peer pressure. People just be like, I just fucking wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious about it. Like people at work mentioned it, or were talking about it, and it was funny. Like, it wasn't really around much. I smoked first when I was like maybe 17, and it wasn't like around much. And sort of building up to it, all of a sudden it was like these people at work had it and were talking about it. It was like, huh. And like all of a sudden it clicked, like, oh, they're talking about weed, and I've heard about weed in these different contexts, and it seems like it might be cool and fun. So let's get some. But I had so little experience. Like, I didn't even know that you're just supposed to like just smoke a joint and see how it goes, for example, rather than just like smoke all the weed you got in joints in a row. Like, I was relatively sheltered until I wasn't. Yeah, like I guess I thought it would be interesting and fun. It's funny. That brings back another memory. I remember finding this like book that was out in this sort of box of books in the garbage that someone had put out for people to take.
Right.
One was called Marijuana. It's called like Marijuana: The Second Trip. It's like cloth bag book. And I was like, oh yeah, I've heard about this stuff. Yeah, that's what my like dad smokes when we're having game night.
Right.
And I was looking through it. It was all words, but then there was this drawing inside that like was someone had just put inside the book. But it was this drawing of like these trees in a field, and it was all these sort of wavy, like trippy. It was a super trippy drawing of nature. Mm-hmm. I saw that and like, hey, marijuana and this like cool art. I was like, man, marijuana seems interesting, and that was part of what intrigued me. So like, I found that book before I ever smoked, and I think that was part of what made me curious about it. That's funny that memory just came back to me.
I love it, dude. I love it. That's my point. That's important. You see what I'm saying? And like, here's the cool thing. I did my research, man. And like, I was like, how can I get my viewers? How can I, at the same time, learn more about these people while sharing this experience, while smoking with these people that I talked to? Insert Mr. Rolfe here. Who, what, when, where, and why. We all fucking know how you're doing it. You understand? Like, we're watching you do it as we speak. So we know how it's happening. But when Shakespeare wrote his plays, when Edgar Allan Poe, when they do these things, when people create shows, when they, any kind of basis, you have the basic questions, brainstorming, who, what, when, where, why. That's it. And the cool thing is that those are questions that give back to you for the experience, as far as letting everybody else know kind of a personal reflection of like who you were, you know what I'm saying, / who you are.
Yeah, man.
Shit goes deep, don't it?
Yes.
No, like that's why at the end of it, like when we ask why, and I'm like, yeah, why, in a neat little bow, because it's just how I feel. You know what I mean? I'm just like, I came up with these questions, and it makes people think, and you're like, holy shit, like I love this memory. You know what I'm saying? Like, boom, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, why I took so well to cannabis. Mm-hmm. Like after I first smoked it, it was like, yeah, I like this stuff. Thank God I do it. Right. I wasn't smoking every day at first, but it didn't take long, that's for sure. But yeah, it's interesting. Like it has many different effects at different times. Mm-hmm. I'd say, but like sort of as an awkward, sort of shy teenager, it helped me feel connected, or maybe less in my head, and more like connected. That's starting to sound a little bit flaky, but pleasant sensations,
Right.
both physically, but then also their mental state of mind.
Right.
It can, I mean, it can also make you sort of more self-conscious at times too. So it does different things in different ways or at different times.
One would say like kind of well-rounded, if you will.
I mean, once you learn learn about it, and it's different ways, you can sort of learn how to help guide your experience or ride the wave and not just not reacting or getting nervous. It's, feeling like self-conscious or paranoid, for example. I mean, easier said than sometimes. Like in public, it's classic. You smoke a joint, all of a sudden you're like, "Whoa, Nelly!" Like it doesn't happen here much, but being out in the crowd and being way too high.
Oh, it happens. It happens. So we know about the first time, W's. We kind of know like where you were smoking the joint with your buddy, 3 to the dome. We know why you did it. You know what I'm saying? The next segment is our favorite W's, the who, what, when, where, and why of all kind of like the favorite things about cannabis that, hearing now. If you're ready, man, we could dive, we backflip into it.
Keep them coming. Yeah.
Oh yeah, dude. We're all about W's here, man. We're all about W's because let's face it, you got to take a couple L's, here in life, here and there, in order to take some W's. But with the who, what, when, where, and why, man, those are the W's you really need to focus on, and it's all about setting goals, right?
The weed W's.
Exactly. All right, buddy. Here we go. Favorite W's: who, what, when, where, and why. Mr. Jacob, who is your favorite person to smoke weed with?
Who is my favorite person?
Who is?
Oh, I don't know. Just like I guess smoking with one of the boys, sitting around.
Yeah. There you go. There you
go. Playing a game or something.
There you go. Absolutely. One of the boys. I'm with it. Favorite W's: who, what, when, where, and why. What is your favorite way to consume cannabis?
I guess joints is my default.
Okay.
Oh, but after a second of consideration, yeah, it's tough to say. I really enjoy eating cannabis, but I smoke, more than I eat.
There you go. There you go. I kind of found out that, and I sent this in your care package, that you really fuck with RSO.
Sure do.
Now, let's talk about that for a second. RSO, Rick Simpson oil. Okay, there are 2 different types of RSOs real quick. There's FICO, which isn't an RSO. There's FICO, and then there's RSO. FICO is full extracts cannabis oil, and RSO is Rick Simpson oil. The only difference is the solvent used. One you can use with MCT oil, which is non-alcoholic, if you will. The other one you use, alcohol, Everclear, to derive the actual oil-like substance, tar-like substance.
Yeah, the second one is the one that
the RSO.
I refer to as or just like weed oil,
right?
Generally, but yeah, that's like the Rick Simpson oil style that I do, kind of rough and ready. The first one is called FICO.
FICO, full extract cannabis oil.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, they're very different, obviously. Well, I mean, what I've used coconut oil.
Yep.
Like, I'd use like, a copper 2 or 4 or whatever, put a pack in there. And,
there we go. Yeah.
And so it's a much more, like that can be strong still, but it's way less strong than like the syringe of, oil, which is like the amount of, THC per milliliter would be way higher in this than any coconut oil based oil I've made. But both have their place. Both are great.
Exactly. And I look at it this way, like, as long as you're smoking weed, man, that's really all you need. A lot of people are like, I just bum joints and smoke joints, and then if I can't smoke joints, I smoke vapes. A lot of people are like, I just only eat it. Some people are like, yo, I only just fuck with CBD. Like, that's enough for me. Like, there are people that they'll overdo it with THC levels. So this is where we kind of plug this accordingly. With RSO, with FICO, with joints, with marijuana, with cannabis, not marijuana, that's a racist term. Let's not try and use that. It's got racist connotation, sorry. But cannabis, period. Okay, hemp, you get the idea. With that period, we're just kind of trying to erase the stigmas and letting people know that, yo, us normal ass people use this shit to when we're still functioning, we still do these things. You know, if you want to call us successful-ish stoners, then yeah, by all means, we laugh at that. But at the same point in time, like, we're doing it because it takes that much energy to do what we're doing, man. You know, it takes that much energy to be able to like take the positivity in and then just amplify it out to that amplitude, really. You know, it takes a lot to do this, and if we have to smoke weed to do it, we ain't hurt nobody. You know, we ain't hurt nobody. That's the point of what we do. We're erasing that stigma that really shouldn't be there to begin with. You feel me?
Yep.
And that's why, like,
we can be feeling the effects of cannabis and still get stuff done.
100%. 100%. I mean, and that's my point. Like,
better stuff done too.
It's more enjoyable.
Yes.
You know, it's more, it's one of those things where, like, so this joint right here, real quick, if you will, just to point out, I not just rolled it, I'm going to smoke it as well. I rolled it. It's a solid roll. You know what I'm saying? It's Blue Dream. And I rolled it to the point to where I know to my enjoyment. I roll it to my specifications, and that's why I don't buy pre-rolls anymore, because I roll a lot better. Pre-rolls burn out, burn quick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think I ever bought a pre-roll.
Yeah, please don't. But speaking of pre-roll, did you roll up those that care package? What all did you get in that?
Well, here I got some of it right here. There was a few different like grams of 6 different types of weed and some Rick Simpson oil. And I haven't tried all the kinds of weed yet, but I'm working my way through them.
Hell yeah, man!
I'm like half off my rocker here, smoking this OG Kush. It's definitely.
Yo, OG Kush. That's made by the guy who made Bubba Kush, by the way.
Oh, I think might be some Bubba Kush here too.
Yeah. Yeah. Those two right there is fire.
Oh, blue rod? No, blue god. Blue rod.
Hey, listen.
But like, I'm probably just high and projecting.
But look at that vibe, though, man. Look at that vibe. I like that.
Really blue. I also attribute weed with like me being, you know, like insofar as I have anti-establishment views.
Yep.
I have weed to thank for that, I think, which is which is great. Like, made me question the status quo to some degree. I think partially because it was and so I questioned the system because the system, you know, was hassling me because I smoked weed.
Right.
But also, I think just being high makes you sort of look at things differently, and you don't necessarily just like accept what you're told.
You give life the time that it needs. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the way I see it. And like,
at least on a good day with the right with the right, I was gonna say trichomes, but with the right terpenes.
There you go.
Oh, man.
So, real quick question, like before we get back to the favorite W's, do you grow your own cannabis?
Mm-hmm. I'm a total amateur, but I do indeed. That's part of the reason why I like weed oil so much is because I make a lot. Because the weed that I grow,
right?
Well, I'm a big grower, and so it's sort of mediocre strength in terms of smoking it. So I turn it all into weed oil. Like my mediocre smoking weed makes really nice weed oil.
Right.
And I end up just getting my smoking ganja elsewhere. I'm not good, but I enjoy smoking it or growing it and smoking it.
Oh yeah, no, it's it's like a meditation almost, man. And like I said, like I can, I'm a noob. This is my first grow. Like I'm halfway through my first grow. So if there's anything that I can share picture wise, like note wise, bro, I'm all about it.
And how are your plants looking? Are they healthy and happy?
So, yes and no. And I embarrass myself here because, like, I found a weak spot in one of my joints. It's embarrassing as hell. But anyways, so with my grow, so I kind of really fucked up, but at the same time kind of challenged. I got to see so much in so little time that it really wasn't the quality. It was quality over quantity. Okay. I only really yielded like maybe 2 ounces, 3 ounces from 2 autoflower plants. That's terrible. But I didn't do anything to those plants. I didn't trim them, didn't give them nutrients, did nothing. I literally just watered the some bitches.
No nutrients even.
Nothing. I went straight from seed to grow to see what I wanted to see what is, or you know what I'm saying? Like I didn't add anything to it. So
sure, that's good. That's now you got your control growth, and you can
Exactly. So I used 2 autoflowers, which okay, cool. They were Diesel Cookies and Cookies Chem as my controls. I'm not going to alter shit. They're just going to grow. That's what they do. You see what I'm saying? Boom, 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 boom. That's my crash course. Okay, cool. When those are done, I'll start another set of autoflowers to come out when these are done. You see what I'm saying? And then I'll change that. So the problem is I put down 12 seeds. Out of those 12, 11 survived. Out of those 11, 1 was male. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I've got, 10. Okay.
That's
2 autoflowers, right? 2 autoflowers I harvested, so I've got 8 more left. The problem with this is 4 of those were the first 4 seeds I ever threw down ever. So they just kept growing. The other 4 I threw down at the back end of everything. So the same time the autoflowers, you see what I'm saying? So I shouldn't have done
all
that.
Autoflowers, or is there a mix of autoflowers?
There's a mix now. There's a mix now. So I've got 8 girls. I got it. It's all right. I'm just fucking baked and hit myself. But I've got 8 girls going right now in my grow room with another 3 autoflower seeds being germinated or propagated as we speak in a different tent.
Do you have all autoflowers, or do you are all your plants autoflowers, or are some of them not?
No. So I have Blue Dream. I have King Louis XIII. I have Wedding Cake, and I have a CBG, like I think it's like Jack Frost or something plants. All of those are regular plants. Okay. And then a little bit about half their age, I have Skittles and I have Durban Poison, two of each. You see what I'm saying?
Nice.
So 2 Durban Poisons, 2 Skittles, all coming in at like the appropriate time as they should. So my first grow was just out of control. So many notes, so many fails. But I found out something, and this is one thing I will pass forward. Blackstrap molasses, dude, unsulfured.
I've read about that.
Huh.
Yeah. I read
it's
if you have ants around.
Oh yeah, I feed my girls. I make a compost tea. I use some microbes. I throw some blackstrap molasses in there, and I throw coffee grounds in there.
Nice, and the plants are like nice and green and healthy.
Yep. The ones that are the size that they're supposed to be, yes. The ones that are bigger, there's a deficiency that I'm trying to find. I think that it is nitrogen deficiency, but I won't know for a few days because I just started adding the coffee. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see. But I'll keep you posted, and I'll let you know.
Yeah.
We'll call it like the Blue Dream Escapes or something. I don't know, something stupid, but you'll definitely find out. Speaking of finding out, man, driving back into it, if we'll head on. Favorite W's, who, what, when, where, and why. We already know who. Kind of like your favorite person to smoke with is. We know, what your favorite way to consume is. We talked about RSO joints and eating it. When do you most enjoy smoking weed?
When? I guess when I'm awake.
There you go. I love it. I mean, that's no time like the present, right? No time like the present. Hell yeah. Favorite W's, who, what, when, where, and why. Where, because everyone knows a place, is your current favorite place to smoke weed?
Oh man, it's just down by the ocean. It's not too windy.
Yes, I could see that.
Yeah, there's often a brisk breeze coming off the ocean, but then I can find a little spot behind some trees maybe. But yeah, somewhere amongst the trees, you know.
Tree people on the dude, I love it. I love it. It's the Atlantic Ocean, right?
Yeah.
I'm really far inland, so I'm just kind of like, it's one of those two.
Like Nova Scotia is just off Maine. I don't think you can see Maine from Nova Scotia. It's a bit too far, a bit too much ocean is in between, but you almost can.
Hell yeah, dude. So you're like actually from the area of like Sunnyvale, like you're there.
I live. We shoot in Truro.
Okay.
That's where that's where the trailer park,
right.
The last trailer park that we shot in was. So yeah, Sunnyvale really is a like a moving target, so to speak. But like these days, would be in Dartmouth at the CHRONIclez studios.
Right.
I'm on the south shore of Nova Scotia, so like looking south, into like towards the ocean.
It's still got to be like ridiculously gorgeous.
Oh, it's nice. I mean, it's sort of like it looks like your backdrop, kind of.
Hell yeah. Like, that's the vibe, man. That's the vibe. Yeah. I tell you. All right, man. Let's tie this up in a neat little, bow about the favorite W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. Jacob, my man, why do you smoke weed?
Oh gosh, yeah. I guess maybe I mentioned some things in this area earlier, but yeah, it's I like the sensations.
Hell yeah, I'm with it, dude. I'm with it. I mean, that's what it is. If you have to like just solve it and be like, here's my answer, don't question it. Like it is what it is. Whatever you take away from this, that's yours to keep. You know what I'm saying? And like, dude, I love the sensations as well. Let's normalize loving things again. You feel me, man?
Sensations.
All right. Well, talking about sensations, sometimes those things get upset. Sometimes we push ourselves way over the edge, and we know what we're doing, but we're being a little reckless because let's face it, what's life without being, doing something recklessly good or something? You know what I mean? So with that comes the next, little group of W's, if you will. The crazy W's, who, what, when, where, and why. Jake, if you're ready, man, we could jump into it, bro.
All right. Crazy W's.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it. Who, what, when, where, and why. Crazy W is my man. Who was with you the first time you just got way too high?
Way too high.
Like, I'm talking like if you suffer from panic attacks, God forbid, but if you suffer from panic attacks, like you just got really, and it just threw you into a panic attack, because we've all done it. We've had way too much.
I definitely had experiences like that. Well, on my birthday, my 19th birthday, I got way too high with a bunch of my buddies. It was like sort of like the high school crew of dudes. And we smoked this like super ridiculously large birthday joint. It was like like a bat.
Oh, damn.
Like an hour.
Like a challenge cone.
Then I went to a different place where I took a bunch of shrooms and ended up calling an ambulance before the night was over. That was too fucking high, let me tell you.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, dude. That's...
big mistake. Let me just tell you, calling an ambulance was a big mistake.
Yep. No, I've been there. You may not have. See, listen, like when you go to dose things, you got to try out the extremes, and I may or may not have driven 4,000 grams into the old gullet here by eating something. So I went pretty quick to it. Yeah,
4,000 milligrams.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never done a giant edible dose. Like I've definitely taken enough that I've just like gone to sleep for a long time, but.
Oh, this was like projectile vomiting. Like it was not fun.
So like, what would a gram of Rick Simpson oil be roughly like?
Oh, I know people that do like a gram in the morning.
Oh, I know. I've heard of people doing like people taking it medicinally.
Yeah.
And I thought about trying to do that like for fun or as an experiment, but right. I've never done it. I just think it would like knock me on my ass so hard.
Oh, yeah.
Like even half a gram.
Right.
Like I take, if I take 3 rice grains worth, it's pretty much going to be game over. Like,
Yeah.
1 rice grain is a dose that you're going to feel, but still be functional on, most likely. And
So
then,
apparently, I'm just finding out that a full syringe is a full gram.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why
To
like
give people an idea.
20
Right.
rice grains,
Oh man. So that'll last you quite a while. So that's good, y'all. That's good. If you don't like smoking and you can pop into that, you know what I'm saying? But make sure that like a rice grain and up is the regimen. Absolutely know what you're doing. Do the research, know what you're trying to heal first and foremost. If you don't know you're trying to heal, it's kind of hard, you know what I'm saying? So it's like just do it accordingly and do it responsibly.
Yeah, if you're going to eat weed, you definitely, or smoke it, you want to start small and go from there. That's a rule of thumb. But here, bear with me as I try to do some mental arithmetic as to how much THC might be in a gram of weed oil that like I make at home, or who knows. So say your weed was like mediocre strength at like 10% that you grew, 10% THC.
Okay.
And you took a...
You're going to get mad when I tell you that doesn't matter, but okay, go ahead.
Okay. Bear with me for now.
You're good. That's the terpene thing. See, take that out of your mind. THC level does matter, but at the same time, like it doesn't, because a 10% can drop you on your ass, and me, it wouldn't touch me at all. It's all about like how.
I wouldn't take the be all and end all, but
right.
But like if you're making, I'm trying to get an idea of how many milligrams of THC is in Rick Simpson oil, insofar as that's how it is. Yeah, terpenes are maybe a relevant factor as well.
Oh, 100%. I mean, it's just, it's all about like,
factor, who knows?
Huh?
All right, so hold on. I've gotten only one step through my arithmetic here. So if it's, so I'm just trying to lowball. So if it's 10% THC weed that you're starting with,
okay,
and you take 100 grams. Oh man, I might need a pencil and paper for this. This might not be it.
So if I'm doing it right, and I could be wrong.
How much
right, the way that it
is in here?
I want to say if I'm doing my math right, and a full syringe is 1 full gram, that's 1,000 milligrams.
No, but see, like Rick Simpson oil isn't pure THC. There's other stuff in there.
Right.
Too. Like different concentrates, you're gonna have different THC depending on your starting material and the method. And one of the things with Rick Simpson oil is you're sort of getting other stuff like some waxes and some some other this and that out of the plant. It's not like the contact with your solvent in the plant isn't it's long enough that some of these things get like sucked out as well.
Right.
There's ways to do it like with a quick wash, etc., where you can minimize that. But yeah, so 1 gram is not 1,000 if my understanding is correct.
Right. So is it higher than that? I would imagine it would be.
No, it would be lower. It would be some like 1,000 would be pure THC if it was 1 gram. So
right.
So it might be like 500 milligrams.
That makes sense.
I mean, I would say that's a lowball estimate.
Right. So the whole syringe would be around 500 milligrams, possibly 450, with the rest is like CBD, CBG, CBD. CBN.
Or, together, like the whole bouquet of cannabinoid. I would say it's like 500 minimum. It could be as high as like 800 or something like that.
Right.
I don't know, but anyway, I digress from my original wherever I was going with that.
Oh no, we were just talking about the crazy W's, who, what, when, where, and why.
That would be a big fucking dose.
Yeah, that'd be a massive dose. We would not recommend that. Don't do that.
I feel intimidated, but part of me wants to do it and see what happens.
I mean,
just don't call an ambulance. You'll be fine. Just sleep it off.
Listen, you're an adult. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you're an adult. I'm not gonna tell you not to, but I'm not gonna be like, hey, you should do that. I'm not going to do that. But at the same time, you should do that. I'm not doing that.
Not take that into consideration.
You'll be high for like 3 days.
All in the name of science.
All in the name. Science. That's just it. Science, and run into the burning building, if you will. Speaking of doing something crazy like that, back to the crazy W's. Who, what, when, where, and why. What kind of pushed you over the edge that first time, you just got way too high? You had to call the ambulance.
It was the mushrooms.
Yep, that makes sense.
It was one of those times when the mushrooms were just like off the hook, and everyone who was there, like all of the half dozen people, had crazy couple nights. I was the only one who went to the hospital, but
right.
Others should have.
Like, how did the doctors treat you? Like, when you were like, "Hey, I'm on shrooms, bro," they're just like, "Well, this sucks."
I mean, they treated me gently, but like an idiot. Yeah. Like I was. Like they're sort of like shaking their heads, just like, "Dude, why did you take so many mushrooms?" Like, okay, don't worry, you'll be fine. Just relax.
Right. Are you still? And maybe you don't feel comfortable answering this, but I can tell you this: some mushrooms here in Michigan, in the city of Ann Arbor, not 45 minutes from me. That's where Hash Bash is at, and people know Ann Arbor, Michigan. If you've ever watched American Pie, Ann Arbor and shit like that. Moving on, okay. Hey. Ann Arbor, Michigan, shrooms are decriminalized, meaning if you get caught with shrooms, you get a fine. That's pretty much it. We're finding that there's medicinal purposes from microdosing with mushrooms now. That being said, would you consider yourself an advocate for medicinal mushrooms?
Oh man, totally. Yeah, I mean, I think doing like doing a proper trip can be, for people, and then microdosing, I think, is also great.
Here soon, you know those breakout rooms? Do you know what these are?
No.
Oh, so like a breakout room is like, they'll put you in this room, they'll lock you in this room, and you've got to solve all of these clues to get the key to get out, basically.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, I could see something like that, but like not like, or you ever heard of rage rooms where they just put you in this room and you just beat the shit out of stuff? It's you smash TVs, you break. It's just like that's what you do. You know, like axe throwing, yeah.
Chef
Ronnie, the axe throwings.
My bladder's in poor shape today. I gotta go take a leak again.
Go take a leak. Get it. We'll be here, brother.
Rocking another kiss.
Get it. Just fucking wash your hands. It's so cool to be able to sit down with this guy, y'all, because like I grew up watching this feller, and like he's seen some shit, but he's just like a real, really humble dude. That's my point. Like he's just hanging out with us, smoke session. You got to do what you got to do. But I will tell you this, check out his shit at baam.ca, bam.ca, y'all. The art there is absolutely fucking phenomenal. We got a little bit of a surprise here, if you will, for Mr. Rolfe when he comes back after we get through the W's. We actually have one of the people involved with bringing Deliciously Dope TV to your faces. That's actually he's a pretty big fan of Mr. Rolfe's, and so thought I'd give him a smoke a joint with him, kind of bringing him together, saying what's up in this COVID lifetime 2020 moment. There he is.
Man, that was a long piss.
All right, it's all right, man. Hopefully you washed your hands because this next part is dirty. It's not. I was joking. What is that? What is that, sir?
Do you ever drink yerba mate?
No, but I mean, I will.
It's like a tea or an infusion. It's some kind of. It's popular in Argentina. It's some kind of leaf that has. I don't know if it's caffeine, but it's like caffeine-like. It's an uplifting drink, and I think that might be like
a diuretic.
Purging my bladder. But yeah, it's great. It's a really it's a nice. It doesn't quite give you a buzz necessarily, but it's a real nice uplifting effect. It goes well with wheat.
I wonder what terpene it is.
Yeah. It's got a very bitter taste on its own.
Well, here's the thing.
America,
type in.
It's this stuff.
Type in it's Yaba Maba, or what is it?
Yerba mate, it's called.
Yerba mate. Yeah, I fucking butchered that. Yerba mate. Type in yerba mate in Google, space terpenes, and it'll give you the whole list.
Cool.
Yeah. And so that'll probably, explain why the ensemble effect is the way that it is. You feel me? Like, I
Yeah,
fucking love
definitely
it.
some ensembles happening there. Big time.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Speaking of big time, man, let's go back to that crazy shit. Who, what, when, where, and why. So we talked about, huh?
Give me some more W's.
Oh, you're good, man. We're almost through all of them, man. We're almost there. So we talked about the first time and you having to call the ambulance. You know, we know what pushed you over the edge there. When was this?
It was my 19th birthday. So,
Yep.
and I'm 46 now. So 18 years ago, give or take.
Whew. Whew, damn, boy. Damn. All right. Crazy W. To tie this up in a neat little bow, man.
Is that half my life ago?
Yeah. Damn near.
Yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Man.
Crazy W's, who, what, when, where, and why. To tie it up in a neat little bow, man. Why did it happen? Like, it just...
Why did that particular experience happen?
Yep. If you look back on it now and you had to explain why it happened, why did it happen?
I mean, it was in part the folly of youth, you know, sort of going big instead of taking things in moderation. And
As you probably
who knows?
should.
You know, maybe there was some good benefits from it, and it was one of those things that, you know, had to happen eventually.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to go to the hospital on drugs, you know, maybe going on shrooms isn't so bad after all. You just wait it out, you know. You're not.
We're not saying take anything else and go just run to your emergency room. We don't do that. There are people that go, that's what you said. That's not what we said.
It was fucked up. Like having to be like being in there tripping and like just like I was just, you know, pretty much taking up a bed, being in their way. But they were, you know, sort of watching me passively while other like real emergencies were going on, and having to hear that stuff and just hearing what was going on around me was fucking insane. It was so intense. Man, oh man, flashback.
There you go.
At this point, like I don't know if you ever like been, you know, sort of bad tripped or like been too high on shrooms or acid, but get to the point where you're sort of over the peak and it's no longer like getting worse. You're like, oh, okay, I'm coming down now.
You can feel it coming. Right.
And so I was just remember being there so happy that I was like, you know, no longer like getting higher and more like out of it. And, but still having to like listen to all this like crazy shit going down on the other sides of the curtains of the emergency, you know, little space I was in. I didn't do shrooms for a while after that, let me tell you.
I see why. That's crazy, man. Well, I mean, that's, you know, here's the thing really with the crazy W's in that section, like we can kind of chalk it up with like, it really wouldn't have happened if you didn't take shrooms. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't mix the two. You know, I've heard of like smoking weed to come down off of shrooms. Like that's what I did for a couple of times, but I wouldn't mix the two.
Yeah, smoking the hour-long bat was not the best way to start a shroom trip. It was just like, dumb. I mean, I'll mix and like smoke a bit of weed, or just like, you know, start small at least, and might end up smoking some big joints. But man, oh man, that was a bit of an ass backwards way to go around.
I mean, listen, if you're gonna jump, you know, into the pool of life, you got to do sometimes gracefully or just belly flop. I mean, either way, you're getting there, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I mean, crazy shit.
Exactly, which is why we have the crazy W's. Exactly, but
that one stood out because I actually like had my friends call the authorities, which is like not advisable unless it's
don't do that.
Truly an emergency, in which case you want professionals to be there. But like by that point, I had talked, you know, a handful of friends through bad trips. Like I should have known better, just to go with it, relax, chill, wait, and eventually you'll be okay. But I was so out of it. I was so freaked out that I just wanted an ambulance. Real bad.
There you go. Now, I do have a quick question for you, bud. So being an advocate, before we get to the last little segment of our show, so for the kids out there, there are kids out there that when I was growing up, we had this thing called ADD, ADHD. You know, there was all these little fucking additives to it, and they just they kind of just like berated us, if you will. and spoon fed us and force fed us these fucking pills like Adderall, Ritalin, you know, and all this other shit, right? All these, you know, all this stupid shit. Oxycontin at a young age. I had a friend die from an Oxycontin OD 1 year out of high school. That's not okay. You understand?
Yeah.
Right. And that was here, man. I was friends with that guy. You know, and it sucked, bro. He was a good dude. Loved Jerry Garcia. But the point is, like, it wasn't weed that did that. Yeah, we smoked hella weed. But weed didn't do that. Weed wasn't a gateway. The doctors didn't prescribe him weed. That's my point. They prescribed him Oxycontin and told him if it got worse, take double. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Was that for like pain or an injury, or was it for
I'm not at liberty. I don't want to get that far into it about that. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the point is that a doctor did prescribe that. That's not okay. And that kid was young. You feel me? All right. Oh, yeah, I've seen them giving Adderall to an 11-year-old fucking girl. What the shit? So I say, instead of giving them Adderall, why don't you give them CBD? I mean, obviously, I'm not saying roll it up and smoke it. No. There's CBD gummies you can get that are just like fucking vitamins. Hell, they've got vitamins in it. You know, get these kids on a good vitamin regimen. Get them on a good CBD regimen. Get them on a hemp period. Get more hemp in their diets. You're going to notice that we're going to have less diabetic kids. We're going to have less kids that are ADD and shit like that. So my question to you, Jake, if you don't mind, what do you think about kids using CBD and replacing, you know, Adderall and Ritalin and antidepressants? What are your views on that?
Yeah. I think that's a good move.
Yeah, it's harmless. They're not getting high. You know what I mean?
If it has, if it's helping with, you know, the various conditions, that's great.
I've got a personal friend. I'm sorry?
Well, like, is there a lot of resistance to
some people think it's okay. Some people think it's just, here in America, it's like drugs. You know, we had a really big war on drugs, and we're still trying to erase that. And we'll see. But it's interesting because more people are acceptable of CBD because of how long it's been around. You know what I'm saying? And it's non-psychoactive effects versus THC.
People don't get high off it, then be like, they can accept that.
Exactly. And so, like, that's why we asked, you know, that's why I wanted to ask that question, because I was like, all right, I can just imagine, like, I got a friend who's, you know, his 12-year-old daughter, like, she's got like eczema or whatever, some kind of skin condition. I don't know specifically what it is, but it's similar to, and so like it's itchy a lot and stuff, right? So there's really nothing you can do. They'll prescribe her hydrocortisone and all this just terrible shit. I literally made her some, you know, CBD balm, and she rubbed it on it, and over literally 15 minutes later, it started working.
Yeah.
She stopped itching it. Her arm looks so much better. Like, but she's 12 years old. Oh, but wait, there's cannabis in this. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what are you gonna do? You can't get high.
Can you get high, even if it was like loaded with THC? Can you get high through your skin?
No. Do you know how much you would have to absorb? Yeah. You'd have to literally go swimming in it.
I've tried that, and I'm pretty sure I concluded that it doesn't work. If you start talking to your lips, then maybe you might transfer. But
I mean, there's different things. Like, I can tell you this, like, I have some of those rubs, and like if I smoke weed or if I do a dab or something and I rub, I think I feel it. I'm just, you know, empathetically going, oh, I feel more because, you know, of the weed. But
maybe, I mean, if the weed's decarboxylated before you put it in your skin cream, you might get higher. Yep. That's one of the factors.
100%. You always have to remember to decarboxylate that. If there's any comments, questions, or concerns, man, like, I can actually get you like some recipes made by cannabis chefs for people to like look into and just like create themselves.
Like recipes for like delicious foods?
Yeah.
Or for different 100%. Like different butters and stuff.
Butters, oils.
I've got like making weed butter. It's funny, I've tried making it different ways, like the old school ways to sort of crock pot for 12 to 24 hours, super old school method, to the more modern decarboxylating at first and then sort of having
Right.
short amounts of time in the fat.
Right.
When I've tried the decarboxylating at first style, I find that doesn't work out well for me. Like my end product is never very strong, and it could be like my decarb process is fucked and I'm not doing it.
So what are you decarbing at? What temperature is your oven at?
Oh, I can't remember what. Like I would follow, the instructions online, but I really can't remember offhand right now what I was doing it at. So yeah.
Are you doing it for a long time? It's because you should only decarbox for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I can feel I've tried it a couple of different ways, and just every time it would just be like a disappointing product in the end.
Right.
But then when I went back to just doing it like crock pot or something similar for like 12 hours, I would always get a product that would like put me on my ass.
Right.
And I wonder if
it's the temperature.
Yeah, like folks doing it the more modern way warn against, like, say, you could decarb it and then just cook it for a bit in the oil. You're minimizing the risk of overcooking your weed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering if doing it like 12 or 24 hours or whatever in the crock pot does overcook it. And
yes.
And that's what is putting me on my ass.
So what's putting you on your ass is a cannabinoid called CBN.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
So, and maybe that's what I'm looking for when I make a batch of, sort of what I think of as strong wheat butter or wheat oil, is when it's like pretty high in CBN. And these other methods are, trying to maximize THC, but that's, as a result, you're not getting as much CBN.
Right.
So it's not feeling it as much for whatever reason. So yeah,
I can teach you how to do CBN. I can teach you how to cook with CBN literally in one step. You ready? Cook it longer.
Yeah, long cooking. Well, I mean, that's basically what I do when I make wheat butter or wheat coconut oil.
Mm-hmm. Do it overnight. I always do it for about 2 hours, and then I'll take that and put it in brownies. But if I'm making like a tincture, you know what I'm saying? I'll cook it longer for the CBN.
If you're cooking it again, then it's going to get more time in the oven. I end up using like my wheat oil, like just eating it with a spoon, or like not necessarily cooking more with it. So
have you ever heard of like a vinegar mother?
Yeah.
I'm making one with cannabis.
Huh.
Yeah, and so far it's doing okay. Like we'll see. I don't.
You're fermenting the cannabis?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Well, let's see. Kombucha. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So as long as I'm feeding it and eating it, yeah.
Have you ever heard of cannabis maple syrup?
Oh yeah.
Anything?
Oh yeah.
I hadn't heard of it. Obviously, like someone would have thought of that. You'd figure.
Speaking of maple syrup, like I'll tell you, man, this Moby Dick that I got, it smells like a maple syrupy like pine salt, like there's a huge pining hit right there, and it's just like wow, it's like I'm breathing in like it suffice to say, the proverbial Canadian air of the north. You know what I'm saying? Like I love. Going up in the UP here in Michigan. If you've never been, I'm sure it's similar to where you live now, but to me, it's pretty magical. My family has quite a bit of, property up there, so we go hunt it, and stuff like that, and burn it, grow, whatever have you. But it's beautiful, beautiful land up there, man. I'm a huge fan of birch trees. You feel me?
Oh yeah, we got lots of birch trees in this part.
All right, bud, we've made it to this last section. This last section is where we kind of get to know. All right, we know what led us up to this point here about Mr. Jacob Rolfe. Where his cannabis started? Well, let's talk about what if, man. Let's talk about like, this is kind of what we can kind of expect from someone who has led us to that point. But I got a twist on today's final plan W's, man. So one of the guys that helped make this show possible, all right, my friend Plywood, y'all can check his shit out. Plywood Mind, check his shit out. Definitely It's some of the funniest shit that I've seen in a while. All over YouTube, man. Dude's making it happen. You can see him on the hit Crave TV show on Hulu and Crave, Letterkenny. It's the Vape Lord himself, one of Jacob's biggest fans. You know what I'm saying, dude? And I'm glad I can share the kind of scene right now and smoke with these guys and talk about them. But here he is, man. Plywood himself. What up, Fly Guy?
What's going on, boys?
Hi. No one in this panel right now believes in color because we're all wearing black shirts.
Yeah.
With that on. No, but seriously, like, dude, thanks for helping me make this happen. I wanted to say that, so I wanted to make sure I got you in here because, like, dude, you know, we're all kind of around the same age, you know, and to be able to look back and have this life of Netflix that played when I was, you know, haphazardly falling drunk into my house or whatever, man. I still remember that theme song, the piano intro, you know, intro for Trailer Park Boys. You know what I'm saying? And the little sequence, you know, and always seeing your name. I got you confused at first with fucking Trevor the Twiggy alien fuck.
Oh God, yeah. That was
Just the names. I was like, oh wait a minute, yeah. I was just fucking fucked up the whole time. And then, likewise, if somebody plays a Letterkenny theme, like I automatically go to the background skits because it's one of the first characters you fucking meet in the first episode. You know what I mean? And so it's just like being able to grow up and seeing you guys, like, you know, and being able to reach out and just show people that you're just fucking normal people. And we smoke weed, bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's hella sweet. I appreciate that, guys. I really do. I really do. So I sent you care packages. You see what I'm saying? So we could smoke some fucking weed. So if you guys don't mind, man, like, I'd like to kind of, like, take a second and do a dab of that fucking Moby Dick that I got from Canada. You feel me? Celebrate this shit. If you don't mind, I'm gonna mute my mic real quick just so the flames don't kill off the vibe. But like,
Killing the vibe.
I don't give a shit. It's fucking delicious. Sorry, never mind. Fuck the mic.
What are you smoking there, Plywood?
This is a super lemon haze, like a cartridge. I really like super lemon haze. It's a nice daytime medication. So it's like the RSO at night, but that's a little bit more header to the dome. Yeah, dude, thanks for coming on the show and everything, and it was good to hear from you. It's good to see you.
Yeah, pleasure. Very good to see you too.
Yeah, man. And like, you're from Nova Scotia, right? Like, born and raised?
Born but not raised. I was raised in Ottawa.
Oh, gotcha. Because my family's from there. My parents are both from Glace Bay, I believe.
Glace Bay, is that in Nova Scotia or is that Newfoundland?
Yeah, Nova Scotia. They're from there. They started dating there. I think they got married there, and then they had me in North Bay, and I crawled out, and now look at me, you know. So you got a lot of lineage back there in the Cape Breton.
Oh, is it in Cape Breton? I know I've heard of Glace Bay. So
yeah. But I always say Glace Bay a lot. So, but I know the Cape Breton was talked about, so I got Cape Breton blood.
Yeah, folks from Cape Breton talk about it a lot.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's beautiful. I'm sure they say a lot as well.
Oh yeah. I didn't go out there since I was like 18. I'm fucking 31 now, but.
Have you been out to Nova Scotia? Yeah, man, you got to come out east once the COVID restrictions are dropped.
Yeah, should go up and
I definitely plan on it. We should all go. I mean, you're already there.
Yeah.
Show up a mini doc or some shit.
Make a doc, you say?
Yeah, film a mini doc or some shit. Because I film like all parts of my life. I have hard drives full of footage since I was like 16. That's where a lot of my plywood mind stuff comes from. Is like characters I used to do. I just revamped them, made them like more since now. Just keep on evolving them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You just get high and go and visit some cool spots.
Yeah, dude. You be our tour guide.
Well, speaking of which, speaking of being our tour guide, like, check this out. Let's take the proverbial like limelight off of us and like our planned fishing trip to Nova Scotia. You know what I'm saying? I want to learn because that's happening. I don't care. I don't give a shit what you're saying. That's happening. Y'all fish. If y'all fish, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what fish can you catch in Nova Scotia. I'll Google that shit and find out, and that's just what we're gonna do. I'm sure you can get high and go fishing, right?
Yeah, you can fish for lobsters.
Ooh,
Eels.
that would be fun.
Yep.
Yo, if y'all want to go fish for some lobster, I'll cook it.
Lobster fishing.
Yeah.
I've never eaten a lobster, and I don't think I ever will.
I'll
So
document
are
it.
you pescatarian? Or not pescatarian, vegetarian?
I do. I don't eat things that look like giant cockroaches. That's like my number one rule.
No bugs. Got you.
And I'm also semi-squeamish to other weird-looking things too, like flat. So yeah, I'm not strict vegetarian, but I've got tendencies.
What about chicken then?
Yeah, like I wouldn't kill and peel a chicken and cook it, but if it's offered to me, often I eat it. Usually, and enjoy it. It's delicious.
What about like tuna? Because some people are just like, yeah, it's tuna.
Well, same thing. I wouldn't
right
catch a fish and kill it and cook it up, but if it's in a can, that's one meat that I'll prepare at home, or one type of animal that I can prepare on occasion.
I feel it. I get it, man. I respect that. Like, I grew up in the area of just smoking weed and having to cook brunch. So it's like I've heard all kinds of shit. I've heard people I'm vegetarian, but I absolutely love bacon.
Yeah, I've definitely been there as well. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just all right. You know what I mean? At this point,
I've been making tuna casseroles recently, like old style 80s.
There you go.
Or 1950s. With the can of soup in there.
The Betty Crocker, if you will.
That's
Betty Crocker. Yep. It's interesting because I've noticed that, and there's a movie that I want to tell y'all because it's got your fellow Canadian and it's Seth Rogen. Okay. It's a movie. Yeah. It's called it's something, The Pickle Farmer or something like that.
I haven't heard of it.
Okay. It's on HBO. Max, I don't know what the Canadian version of that is, but it's like an American Pickle, I think it's called. Yeah. But it's about this pickle farmer who is Jewish, who falls in the pickle brine, and then they just so happen to condemn and close it all down. Then time lapse, he comes out of the pickle brine completely fine because he was a pickle for 100 years. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. But
I like the premise.
You should definitely. It's on Netflix. Or no. Take that back. It's on HBO Max, not Netflix. Sorry.
I've been thinking of for HBO, so maybe I'll finally
definitely check it out.
Maybe Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime's dope too.
Is Rick and Morty? What's Rick and Morty on? I've been meaning to.
HBO Max is on HBO Max. Yeah.
I gotta buy a month or two of HBO then.
Yeah.
You got to get it, man. You got to jump on it, brother. Find a way to do it. Because are you a Batman fan? Let me ask you real quick. Are you a Batman fan?
I've kind of fallen out of
Yeah.
I mean, I can enjoy a good superhero movie, but I've fallen out of any enthusiasm.
Right. So if you're a Batman fan, though, if you're a Batman fan or you're a comic book fan, I really dig all of them trying to come together because they're trying to do the Marvel thing. You know what I'm saying? So they did the Justice League. Well, they just released, and there's a lot of hype around this, Zack Snyder's uncut 4-hour version. You know what I'm saying? That paints Ben Affleck in a completely different picture of Batman, and it's the truth or whatever, and it's on HBO Max. I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna get baked this Saturday and take a few hours and watch it. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm behind on all of the superhero movies now.
Oh yeah, it's easy to
catching up. In both the Marvel and the DC universes, I'm not up to speed. But I mean, it's something that I enjoy enough that I'd watch that.
Get to it. You'll get to it, baby. You'll get to it. And that's the thing. No matter where life takes you on this river, you know what I'm saying? The proof is, in the fish itself, really. If a salmon can make it upstream when it needs to, because it needs to, you can do the same thing. Otherwise, just go with that flow. You know what I mean?
You got to catch a salmon and eat it, too. It's good.
Or that. Okay, straight to death, straight to killing something. We've talked about
Applewood smoke on it. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Turn it. Grill marks.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. Talking about what we plan to do in cannabis. This last section, y'all. Fly Guy, you're all familiar with this. Jake, plan W's if you're ready. We'll dive right in, man.
Which W's are next?
Planned W's. This is the end course,
right.
man. It's the last quarter mile of the fucking marathon. We've gotten to this point. We've learned so much in so little time, and we haven't even touched the surface of my man Jacob Rolfe here, man. You've been there since day fucking one of Trailer Park Boys. You've seen SwearNet, swearnet.com, y'all check it out. You know, you've seen all these things while smoking weed. Like, you have the perfect view to capture the essence of what is comedy, what is, you know, being behind the camera, what is art, what you're doing today, man. You are the perfect image of that. And then being bridged by that for me, you know, I've also got Letterkenny, which is like a different, you know, angle of that same type of Canadian comedy. You know what I'm saying? And then like, it's just what Fly Guy's doing. It's so much. I love it. It's all cannabis, everything. So we wrote this little end called the Planned W's. Who, what, when, where, and why, bud? You ready for it? Here we go, Jake. Planned W's. Who, what, when, where, and why? Who would you smoke with, dead or alive?
Chong.
Chong.
Can I go with Cheech and Chong?
Okay.
I guess, yeah. I probably can choose the duo, so why not?
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you could probably get Cheech and Chong. You could probably get both of them.
I think
call them up and be like, yo, I'm from Trailer Park Boys.
I could, yeah. I guess I could try to pull some weight.
Do it.
Get in contact with Cheech and Chong.
There you go.
Boys, man,
You guys just want, you know how many people like hit them up and are like, you just want to smoke a joint?
Well, yeah, I'm sure they're gonna.
You know?
Guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But who knows? Drop them a DM.
Who knows, man? Who knows? You know, hell, I'll jump in on that, man. Fly Guy, I'm sure, like, you wouldn't mind smoking with Cheech and Chong.
Oh, of course not. They're like legends. I get a lot of nice stories out of them. Lots of information. Let's bang. You know.
I mean, they were back when I was first smoking weed. There wasn't much weed content out there. Like, there was actually very, very little of it, and they might have been the only. Like, you get a Cheech and Chong tape, and there was jokes about getting high.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Yeah. No, it was definitely like a.
So if we're gonna talk about Cheech and Chong real quick, I have to touch on something with like kind of like my era that I remember too. The different angle of that of like your Hunter S. Thompsons.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying? Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Yeah, man. Oh, he's amazing, Hunter Thompson. Like, what a maniac. His writing definitely also had its impression on me. I tell you.
I mean, it's you know, it is what it is, man. Like, listen, it was art, sort of. If you don't see the bats, if you don't see the real bats, then you will.
When, you know, I mean, that's what Trailer Park Boys also does. It sort of, you know, validates it in a. And so I guess depending on your perspective, or it's a warning against drugs, you know, as the case may be. Haha. But
I look at it this way. Ricky makes a lot of money on some fucking ditch weed. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, that shit looks so fucking brown and dried out. I'm like, no wonder the Burge is trying to take it. Like, that shit.
Oh god, it's tough for you on set. Yeah. It's like powder, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, bro. But it's like, it's, you know what? You know, the one thing I can say about the background set about Trailer Park Boys and with Letterkenny, they're fucking accurate.
Attention to detail is it's amazing what good set decorators can do and how you know
how they can do it. Green screens are amazing, aren't they?
Shout out to the sets. Not always green
shout out
either, but
all hands on deck, man. If you have anything to do with like Trailer Park Boys or Letterkenny or anything fucking like acting, like just or anything ever, be proud of your fucking work. You understand? And if it takes a joint of you smoking back and taking a step back and going, hell yeah, and then diving back into it, then do it. That's what I'm saying.
Shout out to production designers.
There you go. Ghetto.
Yeah, it's hard to do well, and
Mm-hmm. But let's
one of
bring
those
it back to
things
Cheech and Chong. Yeah, let's bring it back to Cheech and Chong. Who, what, when, where, and why? What would you smoke with Cheech and Chong?
oh man, tie stick.
Oh, whoa! What is this?
Tie stick, man.
This motherfucker knew. He was like, "Yo, I've been waiting for someone to ask me this
I think
question."
it's weed that it's a type of like a preparation of weed that comes up in Cheech and Chong movies, or is at least
Okay.
referenced.
Okay,
I think it's just from Thailand.
I don't remember this. I'll have to watch these movies again.
It's a weed that they would call tie stick, but I think it would be. This could just be urban legend, but it would be like
Right.
they have the buds and they would tie the buds to a stick. The stick would probably be a piece of weed stem,
Right.
and they would and just a piece of hemp, for the string. They would tie the weed to the stick and then dry it that way, or at least like send it
It's
out.
almost like a Kanagar.
So you would get this like when you bought weed back in the 70s, sometimes it would be tie stick if it was like from
Right.
Thailand, or at least prepared in this way. But like I don't know if it was actually a real thing or not. But Cheech and Chong, I think, referenced tie stick here and there. So it seems like it would be a great thing to smoke
Get
with
it.
them.
Yeah, no, I absolutely don't remember that at all, and I feel stupid. But I can go watch that. That's research, bro.
I may have made all that up. It's a bit unclear.
No, dude, definitely. I mean, here's the thing: if it works, it works. But have you ever had that brings to a question to my mind? Have you ever had a Kanagar? It's like a cigar made out of cannabis, like a big blunt.
Oh yeah.
No.
They're so good.
Like what?
They're so good.
What's the wrap made of? Also made of cannabis?
Hemp? It's
The
hemp.
leaf.
No, I've gotten like cannabis or hemp-based like wraps for like small kind of
Yeah.
cigarette blow type ones.
Right.
But never had.
No,
a big
this looks like a cigar. You know what I'm saying? That it's packed. It's like a big blunt. And sometimes like they'll roll it in keef sometimes, and and wax on the outside. Like it's awesome, and they're wrapped like butcher's twine almost, and then like sealed and shit. So they're actual like cigars, but it's you ain't smoking all that in one sitting.
Never had a proper one. So
You know what? We'll try to get you one.
For clarification, for the wrap, do they make a paper out of weed, or is it just actual leaves that they somehow wrap around and?
I think it's like a pressing into like a cigar like material.
It's a
But
dry
I don't think and then it's dried out that way. I don't think that it's like, and it's just like leaves overlapping and then pressed. I'll be honest with you, I just was like, hey, cool, and then smoked it, and this got
What's it called again?
It's called a Kanagar.
Okay, I see where that word comes from.
Yeah.
I'll search it online later.
Oh, yeah, I'll send you some. Dude, I'll send you some. Don't worry about it.
Oh, Kanagar.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh, dude, there you go. You got to write that now. Like, while you're just like, oh yes, I need.
Can you
one.
recite
Rat
it
pack.
the gar itself, the Kanagar? Just recite
Oh, for sure.
the new anthem.
Well, here we go, guys. Back to the plain W's. We got who would you smoke with? We found out Cheech and Chong. What would you smoke with them? We're doing the tie stick. Okay. Who, what, when, where, and why? When would you like this to happen? When they were back in their prime and did the movies, or right now?
Yeah, I guess wearing all denim somewhere in LA
Canadian tuxedo.
back in the 80s. This movie. But anyway,
No, those were like the 70s, weren't they?
could have
Yeah.
been. Could have been. Up in
Yeah.
smoke. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, that'd be a trip, wouldn't it?
I mean, bell bottoms, man. Bell bottoms and those V-necks, they go down to like dude. We've seen those movies though, and it's crazy going back to sets and shit. Like, it's crazy to like be on the set and do one thing and then look at the other end of it, and you're like, that's not what I envisioned, but that's what people see. You know what I mean? Like, and both of you guys know that. You know what I'm saying? Like in front of the camera, like repetitious. All right, nope, take 4. You know what I mean? There's a lot of energy right there doing that.
It's fun.
Yeah, and you wouldn't believe what's off camera. This direction.
Or
I
like
really do love it.
there's certain things that actors and people do that drop specific subtle hints for people that know or notice, or they if you don't know now you know, and like you'll drop certain hits in the thing and people just won't pick up on it. You're like, that's the one thing I wanted you to catch that nobody caught. What the fuck? And then 15 years later they'll see it.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
Win the lottery.
But playing W's, we're almost there, guys. We're almost there. Playing W's, who, what, when, where, and why. Where, because everybody knows a place, would you smoke with them?
Where? Well, I guess maybe on the beach in Los Angeles.
On the beach. Okay, there you go. Okay. Back in the day. All right.
Yeah, it would be, nice. Not too hot of a day, hopefully, or at least in the shade. But,
I see a nice, temperate, warm evening, dusk with the colors like kind of over the water, like you're sitting by a fire, just passing that tie stick around. Not giving a fuck.
You do paint a nice picture.
Yeah, I try, man. I try. Because it's just like, that glow, that energy, man, those golden days. DJ Stenny, what's up, man? He's shouting out. DJ Stenny's out of Boston. He has a little company called Mary Palmer, www.whoismarypalmer.com. You guys go check him out. He's doing some awesome shit. Go check out their dog treats right now. Their CBD dog treats. They're fantastic. Listen, that's when listen, the edibles kick in when you're eating your dog's treats. It's not funny and it ain't gonna hurt you, but they don't taste the greatest. Dogs love them though. Dogs love them. But we're almost there. We need to tie this up in a neat little bow. You know what I'm saying? This has been amazing, man. We know, like, it's I can't thank you guys enough. And back to gratitude with John Dunsworth, like that's the one thing he taught me. And again, thank you guys so much, seriously, for taking the time to do this and sitting down on a smoke session with me a little bit, man.
Well, man, it's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
I thank you both for hanging out too. I'm having a blast. You guys are fucking awesome shit. Of course.
No, I mean that's what we gotta do to keep our sanity a little bit these days, and I just kind of. You know what I'm saying? We are adding this to Spotify now, so here shortly, it'll be posted on Spotify. I'll get the link somewhere in Facebook or Instagram somewhere. But
what's your main distribution? Is it through YouTube or
YouTube? Yeah, we're live to YouTube right now. We're live on Facebook, and then from there we'll just send people to Instagram. That'll send you to our profile. And that profile link, that's all listed there. Plus Ply Guys stuff from Plywood Mines and DSBTTV. I mean, it's still stuff. It's hilarious, dude. It's really funny. Like, it's you being Canadian and understanding slapstick humor and like how you break the molds of your, being one of the influences that drove Ply Guy to do, the acting he did. You can definitely see the influences and see where like it kind of he draws, I guess, mantra from. You know what I'm saying?
I'm grateful for that, and I'm grateful for this moment. So it's all good.
Absolutely. Yeah. Now, let's give this away in the gift that we were given now. The Plan W's, Jacob, who, what, when, where, and why. Why would you smoke with Cheech and Chong at dusk on a beach with a tie stick?
Oh man, it would be I hadn't given it much thought. They just came to mind first.
Oh yeah. Get it.
I think it would be a blast.
Oh, dude, absolutely. And it's all about having a blast in life, and that is kind of the message we're giving out, y'all. Again,
what's about. Is Cheech still doing stuff like weed related stuff or entertainment related stuff these days? I feel he is, but I can't quite think of it. I know Chong's
yeah, so he's all over the place. Like they're doing tons of shit right now. So is Mike Tyson. Dude, a lot of people have kind of jumped over that green rainbow or the green bridge, if you will. A lot of them had their own CBD and THC companies already. So
Rob
it's just,
Van
I
Dam.
don't know.
I'm not surprised at all. I think like it'd
Yeah.
be interesting to talk to them about that stuff.
Oh, 100%. I would love to. I would absolutely love to. Just imagine asking the who, what, when, where, and why questions to Cheech and Chong or someone like that. Dude, that'd be amazing, and that's just what it is. We'll sit down, have a little bit of a sesh, man. We'll puff, 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 we'll pass some information around, you know what I'm saying? Like, get to know people so that people can help look at this and understand, oh, wait, the stigma that I'm thinking, well, if this person does it, you see what I'm saying? I'm just saying.
I'm not sure how much watching me is going to break anyone's stigmas about weed, but
It's a different perspective, man, and all perspectives matter, sir.
No, man, I'm not. No shame here, obviously. Yeah, man.
That's what
If
we're
you want
trying to do.
education, I can help you out or try, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Weed's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I do it for my medical things, my sleep and diabetes, and like I stick to that. I recreationally will too as well, but like for the most part, it's for medication.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, man.
Different ways for sure.
Absolutely, man. And that's my point. Like, different strokes for different folks. That's why we do what we do. Whether it be Canadian humor or, American sass. I'm joking.
Yeah, I gotta clean my needle, eh?
Right. I'm just saying, like, we're breaking the molds and kind of breaking the stigmas and kind of like creating this new life for ourselves because we're all coming of that age. You know what I'm saying? That age where it's time to nut up or shut up or shit to get off the pot or whatever fucking euphemism you want to insert there. The fact of the matter is we're doing this shit high. We've been doing this shit high and we ain't heard no one's sense. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to make everybody's life better by being able to feel better in our lives. You understand? You can't take that liberty away from somebody. You feel me? That's my point. If that's the case, how long is it before fucking laughter is illegal? You feel me? That's how I feel. Like, just because I don't want to pop a pill that makes me a bad person, nah. Just because I don't want to, like, shove Adderall down kids' throats instead of just give them CBD, that makes me a terrible person. All right, well, make sure those cuffs are on nice and tight because my lawyer's going to come after your ass. You understand? Like, that's my point. It's just like there's too many people out there fighting the good fight. Cops don't give a shit anymore. They don't care about weed. End of story. They really don't. You know why? Because ain't nobody. It's legal half the fucking time here in Michigan. Okay, I've talked to 2 dispensaries real quick. Then they told me. They have to right now, in the law states you have to have recreational and medical to be able to be a dispensary to have, discounted, blah, 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 blah. A lot of places, or these 2 places, are just going to get rid of the medical because it costs a certain amount and there's no point in it. You understand? Everything's more expensive through the medical. Why? You make more money on the recreational side. You know what I'm saying? He's like, so I'm just going to have a recreational side. If you come in with your medical card, I'll give you a discount, but that's about it. And that's legal. You see my point? I'm like, that's brilliant. And it's the same marketing that was used back in the with the whole prohibition and alcohol insert there. You know what I mean? Now you can buy booze in a gas station. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep.
Are you serious right now? Like, I don't care. Buying a 6-pack of beer at a gas station is just asking for drunk driving. Don't lie to me. One of those beers is not making it back to the house. You understand? Like, that's what I'm saying. That's not okay. All right. Whereas if you smoke a joint, we're like, yeah, it's the same shit, but like, I'm not impairing my vision. You understand? At the same time, I don't think either one of those should be sold at gas stations. Just saying. Honestly, I don't fucking think gas stations should exist, but that's just me. We're moving forward. It is what it is. That would be it. They're already relics, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at a gas station, like a mom and pop gas station, what it was, like the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and watch that gas station evolve, get bigger, get smaller, become just oblong, rectangled curve, if you will, with a car wash, with a vacuum, they've got it popping going off, they have a fucking little cookout, everybody from the town comes in, like that's, I've passed through those towns where they've got one fucking stoplight and it's not even a stopway, it's just a 4-way fucking stop sign in the middle of town that flashes red. That's it. I've been to those towns, you know what I'm saying? And that's my point. Like, sometimes those towns, you go in, it's just a restaurant inside of a gas station. All right? Eating ain't going to hurt you. All right? that's not going to hurt you. Sometimes you got to eat. That's cool. Getting gas, I don't think that we should keep using gasoline in cars. It's just terrible for the environment. Why can't we just like fully fund fucking Tesla or fully fund somebody? Because I mean, GM's coming out with batteries in 2025.
This is a massive other conversation for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Sorry, I'm hugely into like fight over mediation of cannabis, man. Like there's certain plants like sunflowers and hemp that if you plant, it redoes the ground and like helps, you know, climate control's real, guys. Like that's where I'm at with it. Like I'm just trying to do my part, and here I got all baked on the live show with this dank ass Moby Dick, man. This shit's like, I'm telling you. Man,
yeah. How those dabs?
Those are, whew, girl. Let me tell you.
Moby's got some dick.
Yeah. No, I mean that. Listen, that is a white whale that I would go chasing more than once. Let me tell you that.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, petrochemical industry Stockton should be shut down, basically. But yeah, that's a big conversation.
I feel it. Oh, 100%. We can talk about that later, man. But dude, Jacob, thank you again. Ply Guy, thank you again for what you guys do. I don't say this enough. I love you guys. You know, I love you guys for what you do, what you've done, what you're gonna do. Like, I love getting to know people like this because it's like we can change that stigma, we can change that, and plus, honestly, dude, this has been like an amazing like vibe and experience that we can kind of kick forward. You know, that gratitude, man, to be able to honor the people, you know, that we've worked with and graced us, and the people that like we're gonna meet, man. I hope to honestly be able to go fishing with you guys. Like seriously, that would be fucking cool as hell. You know, I'll bring the weed. I'll bring the fucking weed, y'all. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm grateful for this. I am also grateful for actually sitting down and talking to Mr. Rolfe, Mr. Collins here. It's been an honor, sir. I'm very grateful for everything that's happened. This whole relationship we had going on, talking and all that stuff. It's been awesome. And I really appreciate your art and what you do. And just fucking keep doing it, giving her, bud. 100%.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Again, guys, absolutely. Again, guys, go check out Jacob's art, BAAM.ca. That's BAM.ca. That shit's fucking off the chain. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, we're redoing Deliciously Dope Studios, and like, I put it on frames because that's going in there. I got Plywood Mind going up on the board here too, guys. That's my point. When I say I'm a fan and that I support this shit, I'm a fan and I support this shit, y'all. Like, I gotta get my fucking, some autograph shit, y'all. Like this is to me, it's a big deal. I can't thank you enough, guys. Thank you. I mean, I hope to see you guys again. You know what I'm saying? I hope to be able to sit down and sesh again. We'll talk about some bullshit, man. Maybe we'll work that into something with like BAMs for grams or some shit. That shit's hilarious.
Yeah, man. I like to review weed.
Do it.
I like to learn how to suss out the different terpenes.
So if anybody else wants to send him some stuff and send him a care package, BAMs for grams, man. You guys got to definitely reach out to Jacob on his Instagram, man. Hit him up.
Maybe you can include my my PO box in the description below. I'll give it to you.
Absolutely. We'll blast it out. We'll blast it out. Hell yeah, man. Fucking we'll get it. I have it somewhere. I don't even know why I didn't read it off. I just had it somewhere. I just wrote it down. I'm trying to make an old school Rolodex because my bladder computer
is about to explode once again here.
Shit.
I really got this big time. So maybe we should.
This is awesome. You're all right, guys. This is awesome, guys. Like I said, tokers, jokers, smokers. I'm Chef Rodney 117. This has been Deliciously Dope TV with Jacob Collins, aka Jacob Rolfe, the Ply Guy from Letterkenny guys, Trailer Park Boys. Howdy, guys.
Good talking to you guys.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Tell me, how has cannabis impacted your life?
Now, this is something I've been asked a few times now. The answer is simple. It gave me my life back. Over the years of putting a flame to a pan or mincing onions, I've learned that state of mind is a powerful thing. Far too often do we let things like anxiety and depression take the wheel and steer us. The use of cannabis has taught me the importance of self-care, which has allowed me to take a step back, observe, deduce, and calculate my feelings and emotions. This has helped me in so many ways in and out of the kitchen. That I believe in this so much, I've decided to change my life and help erase the stigma behind the devil's lettuce. This is where I choose to tell my story with flavors and terpenes. Only this is where I add my own flavor, a flavor that can help people heal as I did, cannabis. So grab a joint, light it up, and come with me as I embark on this journey. This is Deliciously Dope, a journey into the world of culinary cannabis.